A WWE producer has commented on Cody Rhodes using a banned maneuver. Another long-term WWE staff member has been cut from the company. And what happened after AEW's Double or Nothing pay-per-view went off the air? Find out in a second. But before we start, just in case you missed this, WWE uploading it as a social media exclusive. Triple H addressing that botched King of the Ring finish. Initially, there was a bit of speculation as to whether or not this was the plan.
Yeah.
I don't think it was at all. I don't think you scramble around to find a replay that doesn't quite show the shoulder if it's part of the plan.
You could get a bus through there, really, couldn't you?
Yeah. Nor would you do that in the King of the Ring final, like Gunther's crowning moment and all that. Anyway, it was sort of brushed over on commentary. After the show, though, Triple H, in this clip uploaded to WWE social media channels, noting that while Orton's shoulder might have been up, the referee's decision is final, and Gunther is still King of the Ring and will earn a championship match at SummerSlam. Buzzing about that one.
Yeah,
it's
we wanted Gunther to have this meteoric rise for some time. The IC showing has been unreal, obviously, and then it's sort of where do we go from here? Everybody theorized, King of the Ring could be made serious again with Gunther, but then when you add this new stipulation of, winners get title matches.
It's great, isn't it? It's really, really great. And I don't really care which match we get. We either get Gunther versus Damian Priest, which will be lovely, or Gunther versus Drew. Those two have got history. We know they produce bangers, so that'll be fantastic as well. Triple H did tease a rematch between the pair, stating that he was sure that both men would want to settle the score, but it didn't look like he was any rush.
We get a really sellotape together story of Randy making his own crown and calling himself the King of the
Ring. So maybe we'll get that down the line at some point. I thought it was an excellent match. Yeah. And unfortunately, it's a match that's always going to be tarnished by the finish.
It was the same with, WrestleMania 35's main event as well, where hopefully it's not going to be remembered for just the finish. Hopefully we're going to, remember what comes later more than anything with this storyline for Gunther, but it's all in how they build from here, right?
For sure. He said that Orton didn't look to be fit in the immediate future for that rematch, but down the line it might happen. An interesting one, Sheamus tweeting. You might have missed this as well. Sheamus tweeted straight after the finish and then very, very quickly deleted it as well. He simply tweeted, #one shoulder.
He's tweeting and deleting a lot these days, isn't he?
He does do that a lot. He's so funny. I think, it doesn't help out WWE.
I imagine that got a bit of a, come on.
Yeah, right. Obviously, though, he's got history with Gunther. Maybe he's looking to set up a little something down the line, but I think he regretted it, or maybe got a text off Paul and thought, I better get rid of that sooner rather than later. A WWE producer and a former professional wrestler in the company has commented on Cody Rhodes using a previously banned maneuver. We saw at the pay-per-view Cody Rhodes hitting a vertebreaker on Logan Paul. Shane Helms, who was actually listed as a producer of that bout alongside Michael Hayes, according to Fightful Select, commenting on Twitter, just saying, perfect technique.
It was mental just to see a vertebreaker full stop, because it was one of the moves that's obviously we'd heard, you'd hear trickles down the line, like things are banned, can't do this anymore, can't do that anymore. And it got to the point where, while the pile driver had been a banned maneuver for quite some time within the company, there's obviously always the tombstone, but every other variation slowly started to get put away, and vertebreaker was like one of the last holdouts, I think, that got shuffled off.
We saw it a few times. He confirmed back in 2019 in an interview with Fightful that all of those types of maneuvers, or pile driver type maneuvers, had been banned apart from the tombstone. Obviously, we've seen a few of these previously banned moves come out recently. We saw Sami Zayn hitting the top rope brainbuster.
Of course,
which is a brutal move to take. To me, I think it's like, I want to see those things done sparingly, because they were banned for a reason, right? They are dangerous moves.
And it's like seasoning. When a moment like this happens, it's huge, right? Like when the vertebreaker came out, I was like, no way, like absolutely no way. But yeah, I think you're right. Like the less we see it, the more that you have these just kind of signature moments, right?
Yeah. Fair play to Logan for taking that move as well. That was really impressive.
The drone shot, man. Can we just talk about the drone shot?
It was Logan's idea.
I know.
Did you see that? So
text.
He texted a year ago saying, "Hey, I've got a really cool idea for this drone shot. It's going to spin round and everything." I can't remember how he described it.
Redefining the future of media consumption.
He's
been to a couple of them courses there, hasn't he? Yeah.
But it was crazy impressive.
Yeah.
You know what? Speaking of banned moves, and I don't even know for sure that it's banned, but my assumption is that it is. You know, Owens in the package pile driver position, and then chucks him back. One of those with the right opponent who's happy to take it.
Go down a treat.
It's so brutal,
Your Christmas list's already starting to build.
It's so brutal. Another WWE cut, unfortunately, at their HQ. We've seen a fair few of these recently as TKO Endeavor, they merged the departments. Post Wrestling and WrestleNomics reporting yet another front office cut from the company. Beth Fisher, WWE's now former head of corporate social responsibility. She was with the company for 13 years. That has now ended. She previously served as an office assistant, and senior manager in marketing and communications. It's also noted that a member of her team was also being let go. She was actually really recently celebrated, recognised at the Cable Fax Faxies Award by being handed the Corporate Social Responsibility Award. So I don't think it's anything to do with her not doing a good job.
No.
It's just they've already got somebody there merging departments.
I don't think you're going to... Yeah, there's much worse positions to be in if you've just won awards as well. So I'm assuming there's going to be a lot of people clamouring for your
That's
for your
a good
services.
shout. That's a really good
yeah.
shout. It's the same deal with all of these WWE layoffs, and we've seen a lot of them. We wish them all the best of luck. It's just a horrible thing to have to go to. And we've seen people who have been with the company, like she's been there for a long time, right? 13 years. But we've seen people who have been there 20 plus years, unfortunately losing their jobs. We knew that it was going to be happening, but it's not fun, is it?
It's as they fold everything together, and more they're going to discover these departments maybe could do with different people in different positions, or consolidating entirely into just one big group. So hopefully it's not going to be many more times we've got to report on this stuff, but it's fingers crossed they're all able to move forward with their careers into new spheres.
You would hope it would be wrapping up now, because we've seen so many of these. It's like every other week that we're talking about another WWE layoff, so hopefully they do start slowing or stopping, in fact, very soon. We're going to finish with what happened when Double or Nothing went off the air. We've got loads to talk about. We're going to do a second news video all about Double or Nothing and all the post-show comments and everything, but we'll tell you what happened after the show went off the air.
So closing moments of the match, of course, saw Bryan Danielson having to fight alone as FTR got taken out and Darby Allin was hanging upside down by his ankles.
For like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I was just... how did he do it without passing out?
Oh, I know, all the fans are going, please help Darby.
just lift his head a little bit.
He's bleeding as well. All the blood rushing to that poor little boy's head. Mental.
So obviously Danielson ate a Rainmaker from Okada, a Busaiku knee from Jack Perry though, and Jungle Boy made the cover to score the win for the Elite. But then after it all went off the air, final countdown started blaring out, and Harwood then came down with a sign that read, "I love wrestling, wrestling is great," before Danielson removed his AEW vest and started swinging it round to celebrate AEW as a company.
There you go. It's just a big feel-good, send the fans home happy moment
Happy
after
birthday,
the loss.
Right?
It was great, man. I think it's the best Anarchy in the Arena that they've done. It was just
it had attempted
so
murder. There was hanging upside down. There was a Rainmaker with pin.
It was non-stop. I did what happened that last
Tony
night.
shuffling down the ramp, like doing scrap walk, spinning around.
It was great. It was so fun. So fun. Everything on the card yesterday felt different. It was a real smorgasbord of a pay-per-view, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Big offering is what they want to keep delivering, and as we all kind of go, marathon shows, goddamn, at least it's different each time, right? It's never that samey.
No, including the pre-show, right? It was 6 hours, but it didn't feel like 6 hours at all. And it was a really, really fantastic show. So obviously Bryan's AEW future, a little bit of doubt surrounding that, whether it looks like he's going to go part-time.
Well, he ripped his shirt off so he could spin it around, throw it away in the trash.
I like the
going
sign.
back.
I think the sign's really funny. I love wrestling. Wrestling's great.
Wrestling is great.
Brilliant stuff. Right, we'll be back in a couple of hours with all the post-show happenings from Double or Nothing. Hope you're feeling all right on this bank holiday Monday, and we will see you in a bit.